This is the bike following the build. Only a few minor things have been changed. For example, this brake shift lever has been upgraded, and this rear derailleur has been upgraded to a shorter cage length to accommodate only the single chainring. The problem I'm having doesn't seem to be related to the derailleur. There's no problem on the derailleur end or at the bottom of the front chainring. The problem is only at the top here, which has got no contact with the derailleur anyway. Let me demonstrate the problem. The chain line is bad, and it causes this. As you can see, the chain pops off in the biggest cog. This is the standard 44 tooth Bafang chainring. This is the stock Shimano HG31 32 tooth 8-speed. So I'm curious why yours works fine but mine doesn't. Even when I received the bike and I put it together, and it had the triple chainring at the front, the largest one, it wouldn't work properly with the biggest cog at the back. It would just slip off or not engage at all. So I don't know whether there's something wrong with my bike. Maybe it wasn't put together right in the factory. I'm wondering about the axle. The only thing I can think of doing is perhaps swapping this out for a smaller lock nut, or just removing it entirely and then shifting the wheel to the right. I'd probably have to add a spacer on the other side and maybe move the disc mount, the caliper, slightly. But otherwise the wheel seems straight. It doesn't look like it's offset to me in any way. So I'm really curious why mine has a terrible chain alignment. Doesn't make sense. Also, the Bafang motor is mounted as close as it can possibly be. Let me demonstrate here. So I don't think I'd want this any closer to the chain guard there. There's maybe a couple of millimeters of space in there. And also when I did the installation, if you can see the angle of the motor, that seems to follow how you did it. And there's like a groove in the body. Let me show you. So I've got it mounted like this. There seemed to be like a groove that would slot in, but looking at this, it's possible that mine has shifted out. But even with a fresh installation where it sits in that groove, the chain line is still very poor and it pops out in first gear, or the biggest gear even. Yeah, you can see here that it's pretty close. It's basically touching. So I don't see how I could get that any closer to improve the chain line, which makes me think that the problem is only at the back of the bike with the cog set. But I'm really stumped. This is the first bike I've built, so I'm not very well educated on this thing. So if you have any ideas, please let me know, because the only solution I've got at the moment, other than ideas of moving the axle slightly and rebalancing the wheel, is just disabling this biggest cog by using this screw. And it's a shame, because then it becomes a 7-speed. Okay, tell me what you think. Thank you.